Chad Hasty Show News Talk, KFYO. We go to the phones and visit with Greg Lewis, who is a candidate on your ballot, if you haven't voted already, running for Board of Directors in Precinct 1, I believe, for Buffalo Springs Lake. Greg, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you very much, Chad. Good morning to you.
Yeah, always good to talk to you.
Thank you. Great show. You're doing a good job talking about all the politics here in Texas, and I love that. I love hearing about what's going on. But my main thing is to let everybody know to go to the bottom of the ballot. Finish your voting process. A lot of people will vote straight ticket nowadays with a huge turnout we've had. We just want to remind everybody to finish the whole process. My place is the very bottom place on the ballot. It is a WCID number 1. And people are confused about that, but they have added Buffalo Springs Lake Board of Directors now, and I appreciate that. And I'm running to reduce the rates out here, Chad. That's my number one thing, and every person I've talked to has agreed. The rates out here have gotten too high, out of control, and I believe it is very, very easy to lower them again. It's gone up for the last 4 years from $8 to $11 to get in here, and it's not. The reasoning is not good. We don't need it. Yes, sir.
And is that per person, per car?
Yeah.
What does that come out to?
$11 per person if you're an adult.
That's expensive if you're taking, family 4 or 5 people out to Buffalo Springs Lake, and I know that out at Buffalo there's some great events throughout the year, and I know y'all want to have more great events throughout the year. But when you're talking about family of 4 or 5, 6 people, that's a lot of money to get into Buffalo Springs Lake.
Oh, and if you're pulling a boat or a golf cart or anything like that you wanted to use, or if you camp out here, I mean, the rates for camping have gone up. We have the new campgrounds have been worked out here. They're looking really good. But as far as the events, it doesn't cost. It's not supposed to cost us anything to have these events. They're supposed to have events out here that charge and sustain themselves. But it just has gotten out of hand. My opponent, if he gets on, has already said during a board meeting, this is on record, that he wants to raise the rates out here 10% a year for the next 4 years.
Wow.
Could be $15 by the end of his term if he gets on. That's unreasonable, and it's not necessary. It's like, if I have a budget, I know how much my paycheck is coming in each week or each month. I spend that much money. This is where let's bring in more money and spend more money. I don't agree with that. I'm not one of those. Matter of fact, I've gotten the Texas Taxpayer or Lubbock Taxpayer Coalition has backed me because I am into leaving the prices lower. Taxes, the rates out here, all of the rates for coming in are too high, and it's unnecessary. And I represent Precinct 1. The people who are coming in from out in the county. It's a county lake. Everybody in the county is welcome out here, and I have heard talk out here that they want less and less people. That's the wrong idea. We want everybody in the county to be able to come out here. We should be able to handle it. It's a big lake. We can have you come out camping. 4th of July has been wonderful out here, and it's one of our biggest times of the year. But yet we bring people in. We get people in on the top. We get people on the bottom. We accommodate. And the prices are just, matter of fact, they even upped the prices for the 4th of July from 11 to 15 that one day. I don't even know if everybody knew that. But it's not necessary. We're making enough money. We just need to spend it wisely. We need to clean up the lake, make sure the water is clean for the people to swim in, make sure the campgrounds have picnic tables, fire pits, things like that. It's all reasonably priced. We don't need to gouge for the money, Chad.
Do you think you can lower the gate fees and still accomplish what you were talking about making sure everything looks good and is updated and everything else?
Easily. Yes, sir. I sit in. I was on the board 4 years ago, sat on the board and had the same attitude and the same deal as keeping the budget lower. I was absolutely active on the budget to keep it lower. I sit in on the budget meetings during the meetings now. I have missed probably 1 or 2 in the last 4 years. I sit in every day. Every time they have the meetings out here every month, and I pay attention. Yes, the budget can be lowered. There's some of the members, my opponent, which really doesn't give a hang about it. He's very lackadaisical about it, and just says, well, let's just raise it 10% and go home. That's a bad attitude. I don't believe in that. The other opponent I have two opponents. One of them wants to get rid of the charter. Said this during one of the meetings. Again, we're supposed to talk about just the record. Wants to get rid of the charter and make this a private community out here. Getting rid of the county completely. Nobody knows that unless they sit into those meetings and listen. So I'm trying to get the word out a little bit. Like I say, everybody I talk to agrees. Prices are too high. They can't afford to come out here. And turning it over to a private, catered community out here, I think, is outrageous also.
Yeah.
This thing was made for Dylan Jones helped make this place out here, and I want to see it stay a nice camping community.
Visiting with Greg Lewis, who's running for board of directors there at Buffalo Springs Lake. Tell people, again, when they're going through the ballot, Greg, because like you said, this is at the bottom of the ballot. So if people, and I hope people aren't in a rush. Take your time when you're casting a vote. Take your time. Make sure you vote for everything that you're informed on. Vote for, make sure you don't rush through this process. But, Greg, tell folks what they need to look for specifically for your race.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Very bottom of the ballot. Go through. If you vote straight ticket, you still have the ability to go to the bottom of the ballot. You have the new arena voting is down there. However you decide to do that. Dan Seal, the High Plains Water District, has endorsed me, and I endorse him. He's at the second from the bottom. I am the very bottom. It says LCWCID number 1, Buffalo Springs Lake Director, and Greg Lewis is right in the very middle. And I would love to have your vote. Robert Pratt has supported me, saying that I am a conservative, not a progressive, meaning that I'm watching the money out here. You pay too much to come out here. Not necessary. We have a wonderful place that can be maintained without gouging the people. But go to the very bottom. Make sure that you hit that Greg Lewis. When you go and before you see the flag, check all of it and make sure you go to the bottom of the ballot. A lot of people running, a lot of good people, and just to make sure that you do the right thing for yourself. I'm running in Precinct 1. It is Greg Lewis, Greg Lewis, and it is to keep your price lower so you can afford to get in here with your family. You don't need to be gouged to come in and have a good time. It's your place. All that price of the gate was set up to be is just to keep the maintenance out here. Yeah. And we're getting millions of dollars. Can you believe millions of dollars come through that gate?
Yeah.
This place needs to look like $1 million, and we don't need to keep raising the money. We got enough money.
Very good. Greg, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Please vote for me, sir.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Okay. Have a good day.
Have a good one. That's Greg Lewis, candidate for Buffalo Springs Lake, Board of Directors, Precinct 1.